All right, welcome back everyone to another video of my For Honor multiplayer tutorial series. So we are just gonna be continuing with the combat system. In today's video I think we are gonna do the different attacks based on the different stances, because we got the targeting set up and we got the lock-on set up and we got the different stances set up. So let me just show you what we have so far. We have our character. When we get close to an enemy we can lock on by right clicking, and you can see we change stances depending on where I drag my mouse. And what we need to do now is basically decide where we are gonna, the different attack animations basically, depending on what stance we are in. So yeah, that's basically what we're gonna do today. Before we jump into that, I just want to show some quick changes that I made based on one of the comments from one of my videos. There was a guy suggesting that we started working with enumerations instead, so I did that basically. So yeah, what we want to do is I'm gonna try to explain this quickly. I'm not entirely sure where I put things here. So at the start, if you haven't worked with blue enumerations before, just do a right click. You can do it with booleans that we as we already did in the last video, but enumerations is a little bit better because it's gonna be easier to control when we add more states in the future, like stunned or things like that as well. So just right click, blueprint enumeration. I called mine E_player states, and the different states that we have in this one is guard up, which is the up one, guard left, and guard right. So that's the only 3 states that I have right now for my guard animations. So what we want to do is I created a function called server set player state and added a variable called player state. You can't see it because of my camera, but it's here below here, and if you look to the right here you can see it. Hopefully this is actually high def, this video now as well, so I'm not sure you can see it, but the variable type is ePlayer states, which is basically the enumeration that we just created, and just call it player states. As you can see here, we can choose player states. So create a function, just right click, custom event, and then call it server set player state, and from it just grab your variable and just plug it in and set it. Make sure this variable is replicated as well. Replicated. Perfect. So in this function from the last video, we're gonna remove some stuff and we're gonna change some things, because we used to control what direction we what stance we were in, depending on these 3 booleans that we can actually remove now. I just deleted them. And so in the last from before we had 3 bools called attack underscore up, attack underscore right, attack underscore left. I'm just removing them and doing it this way instead. So instead of setting the different bools, we just use this same function that we made here, which is basically set player state. So now we don't need to execute 3 things every time, because previously we had 3 booleans that we're all changing. Now we're only changing 1 thing, which is better. So from the first one, if the axis is up from this branch, just guard up. From the right one, just set it to guard right, and from the left one we set it to guard left. I still keep this can change stance. I'm not sure this is making a huge difference, but let me check. Maybe it's unnecessary. Oh yeah, sorry. We also need to bypass this one. I'm just gonna check how that is. Maybe it's completely unnecessary. Actually, it's not unnecessary. It's actually quite nice. So let's keep it. Because otherwise I can switch. Because it basically this creates a small cooldown on the change of stances. So yeah, then we go into our third-person animation blueprint, and as you can see, I used to have 3 states here. I can just name this combat. So if you followed the previous tutorials, you had 3 states here. Remove 2 of them and just create 1 instead. So what goes here is basically just combat mode and equip animation, and exit and not combat mode and the unequip animation. And for the combat state, we are using an enumeration to actually blend. So at the base we always have our combat mode, which is the you have this from before. It's basically this one. So it's this one. So this is the base one, because we are always gonna use the feet. So grab a layer blend per bone, and this one is the base post. And we blend it by spine 02 is what I found looking good. You obviously have to change this. You can swap around with your bones and with your blend weight. I found spine 02 and 0.8 blend weight working fine for me. And then from the blend pose, we are gonna do blend poses by enum. Actually, what you're gonna do first is, if you go to your event graph, because in our player we have this player states variable that we made before, this one, that we made, I just told you to make before. So basically what you want to do is you also want to set this, so we have our reference to our player that we get from begin play. So on the update of the animation, we also want to grab our reference to the player, get player states, so just from the player, get player states, which is, so now we're getting this variable. And then you want to promote it to a variable here as well, and set it. So now we're setting it, so it's the same in this animation blueprints as in the player blueprint. And depending on which state we are in, we are gonna decide which animation we are blending with. So just grab your states and do blend poses by, I'm not entirely sure, player states. Blend poses underscore player states, which is this one. Plug in the states to the active enum value, and in this case we don't need a default pose because we're always gonna have a value. So for the guard up pose, you do the guard up animation. For the guard left pose, you do the guard left animation, and for the guard right pose, you do the guard right animation. And you can also mess around with the blend times here to make it transition between the stances smoothly and everything. And that's a better way to do it, because as you can see, it's not snapping or anything. It's actually looking quite nice. Works the same way. You can keep using the booleans as well, but this is a little bit better for performance. So I would do it this way. Also, it's gonna be a lot easier in the future if we add more states to the enum. It's gonna be easier to control what state the character is in. when you don't have to check it against like several different bulls all the time. So yeah, that was a quick fix. Already 10 minutes into the video, which is a little bit annoying, because I didn't want to spend time on that, but yeah, fuck it. Now you know, just so you can keep up with the tutorial. So let's add some animations for the attacks. So bum 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 bum. Let's see if I have, or we are two-handing right now, right? So yeah, 200 swings, perfect. Do I have some nice animations? Bear with me. I'm just gonna see about this one. Maybe it's nice. Okay, no, that's a kick. Not nice. Let's see. Maybe the great sword. Battle. Root. Okay, so here we go. That's an air attack. Okay, so here we go. That's, I think it's gonna be a little bit annoying because it's not really following this. This is why this is hard. Because obviously it would be nicer if we had some attacks that goes from this stance, but we don't, so we're just gonna have to wing it. This is right? Maybe I have some better. This is good for up, maybe. Because now we are smashing right down. Okay, so this can be the up animation attack. So this is the up one. I'm just gonna check so that it's root motion. Battle underscore root. So make sure that it's a root animation, root motion animation, and make sure that root motion is enabled. Perfect. So we are also gonna do a right one, maybe this one. Okay, that can be the left one. Attack underscore lift. And do we have a right one? Doing spinning attacks. I don't only want to have spinning attacks. No, not that one. Not that one either. Maybe this one. That seems like a right attack. Attack underscore right. Just to keep it simple, I'm just gonna add a new folder. Just gonna call it toot attacks, just so that I can keep track of everything. Where did I put it? It's not here. There we go. Tutorial attacks. So now we have our three animations. I'm just gonna right click and create any montage. Right click and create any montage. And right click and create any montage. So now we have our three animation montages that we're gonna use for the attacks. So just go into your player and let's just make a new graph. Call this combat graph. Let's keep it clean. So make a custom event. Server underscore attack. Make another custom event and call it MC underscore attack for multicast. So the MC is multicast, reliable. The server is run on server and reliable. And this is, it doesn't have to be a multicast, to be honest. It could be a rep notify as well. If you're used to work with rep notifiers, it's actually better, I think, but it's also a little bit more complicated, so I'm not going to go into that. Multicasts are fine. So from the server attack, you call the multicast attack. Maybe I should have a client. No, because we need to multicast it. Play. Is it this one? I never remember which one this is. So there are a few things we need to do here. Let me just check. I'm just gonna jump into my other project and just check if I'm using the right node. Play anim montage. Yeah, it's the right one. Okay, play anim montage. So this one. So we're just gonna do attack up, just to see if it works. And so when we press our mouse, we are gonna do the attack animation. Let's just see if it works. Yep, so the animation is playing, but as you can see, it's not really working. It just makes me take a step forward. That's because we need to add this slot. So go into your mesh, find your animation blueprint, and go to your animation graph. And here you need to add slot, default slot, and save it, because that's where because this is required to make animation montages play. So let's see. Bam. There you go. Looks good. So that's the first one. So we can clearly see that it's working. Let's see if it's also replicated. I forgot to check that. It should be. Yep, as you can see. That's a nice attack, actually. It looks good. Feels powerful. Great. What are we doing now? We're gonna decide what animation to play at what time. So grab your player states. From it, switch on ePlayer states. So depending on what state we are in, we are going to be playing a different animation, basically. So, yep. So the guard up is this one. The guard left and the guard right. Also make sure that we're in combat mode, because if we're not in combat mode we should not be able to attack. At least not for now. I think if I remember correctly, you can actually attack even if you're not in For Honor. You can actually attack even if you're not locked on, but it's the same in Dark Souls and everything as well. But we'll do that later. I'm just gonna do like this for now. So this should be attack left, and this should be attack right. And this should be replicated, should be fine. Maybe we need to pass it through the function, but let's start doing like this. Let's see what happens. Up, left, right. Why is it shaking? The camera is shaking a little bit. I have no idea why. Okay, it's because the animation is interfering with the camera. Okay. Yeah, let's deal with that later. At least we can see that the animations are working. Let's see if it's working from the client as well. And also if I press my attack button without being locked on, nothing happens. We should probably do like a default attack for this that is not the same attack. If I lock on, you can see it's working. Left, right. So yeah. The only thing is I think the right animation doesn't really look good with the sockets. As you can see, the hand is not really following it, but yeah, fuck it, it's good for now. And do I have... Yeah, let's add some pizzazz as well. Let's do some trails and things like that just to make it look a little bit better. So in your attack montages, just basically go to your skeleton and let's just add socket. Oh, sorry. How do I do this? Yeah. Oops. Add socket. Call this one trail bottom, and copy it and paste it. Yeah. Trail top. And then trail top. Ah, yeah. Ah, this is so annoying to work with, to be honest. Something like that. It's good. Just drag it to wherever you want to have the trail. I'm gonna do something like that. And then back in the animation, on notifiers, add notify state, add a trail, and then we're gonna see we start swing. Here is the start of the swing. Somewhere, let's do the trail from there. So just adapt something like that, and it's gonna stop right over there, maybe. So, and then just do trail primitive. I think I have. I'm just gonna do a red one just for show, and it should be so first socket name trail bottom, second socket's name trail top, and repeat that for the other two animations. Left, that was left, so let's do right. Add a notifier from about here, add notify state trail, and it's gonna stop somewhere around there. Trail bottom, trail top, trail primitive 2, perfect. And we're gonna do the up as well. Add notify state trail, so from there something to here, maybe around there. And then in the end we're probably gonna add, because this slams down into the ground, so we'll add some particle effects to the ground and things like that, so it looks cool. Trail bottom, trail top, two, cool. Now we have some trails. Let's see how that looks. It looks freaking awesome, doesn't it? Okay, let me quickly see if I can fix the camera, because it's shaking a lot. Also, the left one is slow. I should probably do the trail a little bit earlier on that one. And also the right attack is actually not very nice, because we're completely missing the target unless we're super close. Yeah, so the right one should be more from the right. It kind of goes up. So I'm gonna change that between videos. I'm just gonna fix this one, do it a little bit earlier, maybe something like that. Yeah, sweeter. And I'm not sure, something's off. It works for now. I'm gonna see if I can fix the camera. Where did we do that even? It's probably on a tick, right? No, it's on a custom tick. Rotate to target. This is where the problem is, I think. So what's happening is we are trying to rotate towards the target while we are actually, can I? When I think about it, can I? Is it only when I get, which one is it? Is it the, okay, so it's the end. It's at the end of the animation. So perhaps there are a few alternatives, because it's not shaking while we are actually doing the animation, and it's not shaking if we are only doing the animation, as you can see. It's shaking if I try to move. No, why is it not shaking now? Okay, I'm not entirely sure why it's shaking, to be honest. I think it's a problem between the character wanting to turn towards the target. Okay, yeah, so the problem is when I go past the target, I think. Because it's not actually shaking now. But if I go past the target in the attack, as you can see. How do I fix that? Because when I go past the target in an attack, it's trying to turn 180 degrees in the attack. It should be able to do that actually. I thought I was forcing. Let's try some stuff. Is it this one? It's obviously not this one. But as you can see, I'm actually okay. So in combat mode, I should actually use the yaw, I think. I do have an idea. The video is already 30 minutes long, but you can see that I'm turning towards the. So I want to enable rotation yaw while I'm attacking, I believe, because as you can see, what's happening now is even if I'm locked on, when I'm doing the attack animation, the character is actually not rotating. But if I enable the yaw and create an attack, you will see that the character is rotating towards the target even during an animation, and that's how it's supposed to be. So when we are attacking, we want to enable use controller rotation yaw. So let's create a new bool called is attacking. Actually, no, let's not do that. We don't need that. What we need is a custom event. Make it run no, client use controller yaw, and make another one, server use controller yaw, and get is it a how do I access get controller I don't remember how to access that. Use controller rotation. If controlled by a player controller. Get player controller. Get player controller. Use control. Is it by the do we get the same effect from this one? Use control to side rotation. Let's see if it's the same effect. It's not. I don't remember how to access. Play third-person controller. Use controller. So, self. Use controller. So yeah, there we go. Okay, self. set use controller yaw. Okay, perfect. Client server no. So it's this one, and I don't even need the target, right? Because it's only here. Use controller yaw. Sorry about this brain freeze. Okay, so let's just do like this, do like this, do like this. So now everything is connected. So whenever we are attacking, so the return value from the animontage, you can just add a delay node from that one. So that's basically the length of the animation. And then we are gonna call, at the start, we're gonna call, we can do it here. Actually, since this is multicasted, fuck it, because that's run on the server, so why would I need to run it on the client? Oh, let's just do like this. What did I call it? Client use controller yaw. And we are gonna enable it. And after the attack, we are gonna disable it. That should work. And disable that one again. Now it's better. See, no shaking. Sorry for dragging out the video, but I just felt that I had to get this fixed. So as you can see, we are now, and also it should probably be toggled, because now we're doing this by actually holding in the left mouse button, the right mouse button. But if I attack and let go of the left mouse button, you can see that the sword is actually, because we stopped with the targeting in the middle of an attack, which should not be possible. So it should probably be toggled and not be able to switch off in an attack. I don't exactly remember exactly how the For Honor combat system is, but this is, I think this is looking quite nice. I hope you agree. We do have some collision bugs still, because I'm moving closer to the character mesh with the attacks, and when I get too close it does lag a little bit, but that's gonna be better with the reactions, hit reactions and things, so the enemy will probably move back a bit when we hit them. So yeah, I think it looks quite nice. Right, up, left, right, up. Yeah, it's quite nice. Still a long way to go for this system to be super nice, but it's good so far, I think. So yeah, anyway, as always, let me know in the videos if you have any questions. Forgot to say so in the beginning of the video, but I think like 200 subscribers almost, which is super awesome. So if you watched this far and if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe, and let me know if there's any questions. Have a good day. Bye.